What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a second stimulus check update and stimulus package negotiation update. Now, we have been getting a lot of updates from Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin, President Trump, Mark Meadows, even from Mitch McConnell. And the problem with all of these updates that we are getting is that they're all sending mixed messages. Well, you're probably wondering, why? Why are they doing that? What's the purpose? Well, it's because the election is only 9 days away. The election's coming up. And right now, this is the final week. We are going to get updates. I guarantee you, we will get updates from Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin, President Trump, Mark Meadows, Larry Kudlow, and the list will go on and on. But the problem is, all the updates we're getting point us to different directions. Just yesterday, we heard Nancy Pelosi tell us it's because of the Trump administration. When the GOP wants to accept a bill, wants to compromise, then we'll get a deal done. Well, Steve Mnuchin said the exact same thing, but pointing to Nancy Pelosi, saying when the Speaker decides she wants to compromise, a deal's there, we will have an agreement. Well, being that I keep doing these stimulus updates to give you guys an idea of when a possible stimulus check is coming, when the next stimulus package will arrive, when we're going to get an agreement. Well, I get a lot of questions on Facebook. Facebook of all places. I don't mention Facebook, but I do have a Facebook group. Do have a Facebook page where you can go and send me messages. Well, on Facebook, just yesterday, last night, I got this message. Why can't the House and Senate pass a bill now and then go back for more later if they need to? Well, that's exactly what Steve Mnuchin and Republicans say we should do. They say, let's pass standalone bills right now. Let's get a second stimulus check flowing. Let's get rental assistance going. Let's get PPP funding. Let's get that moving. Let's get the economy going in the right direction. And then if we then go and see we're in December, January, maybe February, and we still need additional stimulus, let's pass an additional bill. And Democrats are like, no, we can't do that because we know if we go and agree to a stimulus bill now, then you won't agree to anything later. But at the same time, this is stimulus package number 5. We're 5 stimulus packages in. If we pass this one, technically we're like 4.5 or 4.5. This will be 5. So the thing is, right now, Democrats, in my opinion, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats need to accept the $1.9 trillion offer. We are so close. We're only $300 billion away. And right now, we're going to let $300 billion get in the way of the economy really coming back. We're going to let $300 billion get in the way of people paying for rent, providing food, shelter, providing the unemployed with an additional income that can get them through this tough time, get them through this pandemic. Why? It just doesn't make much sense. Now, the other thing is, and I don't want to just bash Democrats. Democrats right now hold all the power. Democrats right now, okay, let that sink in. Democrats right now hold all the power. Back in June, it was Republicans. So don't sit here and say, oh, you're just a Republican. No, I am not for Republicans right now. I'm not for Democrats because of the way they've been treating the American people. I'm here to tell you that Republicans back in June, mind you, months ago, Republicans should have accepted or at least negotiated the HEROES Act in June. Republicans knew that it was going to be very difficult to pass a stimulus package during this tough time, this close to an election. They knew in August, they knew in September, they knew at the beginning of October. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. It will almost be impossible That is what Mitch McConnell said. He said it was going to be difficult to pass another stimulus package closer to the election. But if you remember, Mitch McConnell and Republicans, specifically Senate Republicans, said, let's wait and see, and then we will address the issue after. That was in July. But the truth is, Republicans are at fault. They should have stopped this from the beginning. Well, they didn't. Now, the pressure is on Democrats. And as of right now, I feel that Democrats are failing us. Nancy Pelosi is failing us. Okay? Again, I don't want to bash Nancy Pelosi, but right now she's holding all the cards. She has all the power. If Nancy Pelosi, and this is exactly what Steve Mnuchin reiterated, and he was alluding to, was if Nancy Pelosi wants to compromise, we have a deal. All it takes is Nancy Pelosi to say, okay, I agree, 1.9 trillion, let's get it done. That's all it takes. But here's what you need to realize, okay? Both parties are at fault. Both parties are saying we're getting closer to a deal. Nancy Pelosi's been saying this for a few weeks, possibly even a month now, that we're getting closer to a deal. We're almost there. She said this just the other day. But the truth of the matter is, and this is exactly how many Senate Republicans feel, and even some people within the House feel, that Nancy Pelosi will not accept a stimulus deal, no matter what, until after the election. Well, the same thing goes for Republicans. President Trump says he wants a deal, and I feel like President Trump actually truly wants a deal. Whether it's for political gain or he truly feels for the American people, that I don't know. But what I do know is he does want a stimulus package. He wants a second stimulus check. He wants unemployment going out to those on unemployment. He wants people that have back rent. He wants them to get some type of rental assistance. He wants the businesses that are struggling to get PPP funding. He wants to make sure those businesses can't be sued if somebody gets COVID by going to their establishment. He wants all those things and much more. The problem right now is everybody else doesn't. Nancy Pelosi doesn't really want a stimulus package. Not yet. Because it would create a little wind for President Trump, and that would hurt Joe Biden. So she don't want that. Also, she doesn't want a stimulus package because it would look like the Senate, specifically Senate Republicans who are in very tight races, and it looks like, as of right now, there's a good possibility that Democrats go and take over the Senate. So they will have the power in the Senate. They'll hold majority there. They will hold majority in the House. And who knows what's going to happen with the presidency. Will Joe Biden win? Will President Trump be reelected? We don't know. We're 9 days away. But what I can tell you is this. If we were to see a stimulus package today, I could almost guarantee you that Nancy Pelosi would hold it up just a little bit. The congressional committee that is writing the bill would get the whole thing done, except for just a few little small pieces, a few little tweaks. I can guarantee you Nancy Pelosi will push this back a few days so that there is no way a stimulus package could be signed before the election. Also, Republicans, specifically Senate Republicans, the GOP, I guarantee you right now, their priority is not stimulus. Their priority is the Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett. That is their priority. They are going to vote on Monday. It should be finalized. And then they may look into stimulus. But I can tell you right now, the hard part is just reading everything that's going on, watching all the interviews, listening to some of these senators and some of these different Republicans and even people inside the House, even representatives, hearing them speak. It just tells me we're not going to get a stimulus package before the election. We will get closer, and I guarantee you, soon after the election, we will have a good understanding of what Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi have been talking about and discussing. But the problem is this, okay? And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. And this will not be the last time I say it. what's going to happen if President Trump is reelected? That is going to be the best thing for stimulus, to get it now. Okay? I'm not saying go and vote for President Trump. I'm not saying go and vote for Joe Biden. I'm saying for stimulus, only for stimulus. The best thing to get stimulus as quick as possible, so like soon, is for President Trump to be reelected. If that happens and the Senate is still controlled, the majority controlled by Republicans, doesn't matter what happens with the House, then we will see stimulus as quick as possible. If, and this is a strong possibility, if Joe Biden is to win, and it doesn't matter if the Senate is now going to be controlled by Democrats or it's still controlled by Republicans, what's going to happen is Nancy Pelosi, let's say Joe Biden wins, the Senate is still controlled by Republicans. What's going to happen is Nancy Pelosi is now going to push and urge and try and fight tooth and nail to get stimulus sometime at the end of January or February. And I say this because, and there's another possibility, is Democrats win over the Senate. And if the Democrats now hold majority in the House, win over the Senate, and Joe Biden is elected to office, what's going to happen is we will see stimulus. It was going to be greater, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, but it's not going to come until probably February. And I say this because the House and the Senate, they will change over their members will change over their seats in the early part of January. However, we will not have the presidential inauguration until January 20th, which means we won't have anything going with that, with the House, Senate, and Joe Biden in office. We won't have anything there till the end of January, which means chances are we won't see stimulus until sometime, maybe early to mid-February. So that's the difficult part right now, is who do we vote for? Do we vote for a prosperous next 4 years and we want to look at the 4-year future and timeline and this is who we need as president? Or do we look at, well, do I really want to wait for stimulus? Do I? I don't know, right? That's the question many people are asking. Now, we've already had over 50 million people vote. So we still have multiple millions of people who are still ready to vote, but chances are about 90 to 95% of people already know who they're voting for. So get out there and vote. Make sure your vote is heard, make sure it's counted, and we will see what actually transpires. So right now, what I can tell you is the COVID cases are increasing. It is increasing at a very quick rate. So I know testing is readily available. We test more than any other country. That's great, but that also means our case counts will go up. So stay safe, stay protected. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one.